There's this video game called Deceit where it's kind of like Mafia. There's 2 people that are evil, there's 4 people that are good, and you're trying to figure out who's evil and kill them, but you don't know who it is. And meanwhile, the evil people are trying to kill everybody. And there's different characters you can play as in the game that are from different races, etc. And sometimes some of these characters seem to get voted out more. So the question comes up, as a community, are we bigoted when we play Deceit? So today I'm going to set up an experiment so I can start collecting data and measure, is this true? Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Ptony, your friendly Catholic vlogger. And full disclosure, my room is a mess. So if I'm going to spend all day working on an experiment and things like that in my room, I want this place to look cleaner. So give me like 10 seconds, okay? And that, tragically, is about as clean as my room ever gets. Alright, so from here, oh gosh, how am I going to do this without shaking? Let's just write down real quick what we need to do. Any experiment has this boring part where you need a data collection sheet, of course. I also want to show you a little bit of what this game looks like so that you kind of get a context of what this is all about. And finally, the plan is when I'm doing this data collection project, I want to, well, it's a video game, so I'm going to stream it on Twitch. So there's a couple graphics that I need to set up, especially a progress bar of how far I am along in my data collection process. And that's the plan. Think we can do it? Let's start with number 2, shall we? Over to the computer. Great, so let's get going. This is Deceit. It's free on Steam if you have Windows. It's beautiful. And the capture isn't working. Oh, it is working. Okay, good. So it's a horror genre game. If that's not something you're into, click on whatever timestamp I put right here so you can skip all of the horror footage. I'm gonna just time lapse it real fast. But here, this is basically what we're looking at. We've got these 6 different characters. This is Alex, Chang, Lisa, Rachel, Hans, and Nina. Even though it's completely random, in theory, which 2 of these characters are evil in any given game, most people suspect Chang. At least that's what that's what it seems like. So the plan is I want to collect some data on how often is Chang actually evil, and how often do we treat him as if he's evil. Alright, I'm going to queue into a real quick, easy game and play through it, and then I'll show you what sort of data we can be working with on the other end of the game.
I haven't felt this bad since Oktoberfest.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
They should come in handy. I've got the inspection kit.
Come on, Hans.
Where y'all at? The treasure.
Innocent, Hans is innocent.
One blood back there, and it was fine.
Watch out, somebody transform. And I'm dying. Goodbye. And Lisa watched it happen.
Alright, I saved you, but I'm down. Alright, so this is the end screen, and you can see there's a summary down at the bottom that I'm going to use to collect data. You can see who's infected. In this case, it was Nina, and Chang actually was infected this time. It'll also tell us who did all sorts of different things during the game. Somebody was killed by one of the monsters, but then I resurrected them, and then I died. It was very sad. So it'll tell when people are killed. It'll also tell when people are voted out. Nobody got voted out this game. So the two parts of this summary that I'm especially going to be tracking, because you have to choose at a certain point, I'm going to be tracking who actually is infected, and I want to track who's voted out. And I'm thinking that'll give me some sort of idea of, especially from the innocence perspective, how often do we vote somebody else out because they're actually acting suspicious or not. Alright, and now let's go to my favorite part of any research project. Let's go to Excel. Let me just be frank, I know that Excel seems like a very scary program, but I'm going to gloss over all of the boring parts. First, let's just create some columns talking about what data I want to collect. First two bits of data I'm going to be collecting are to help me control the project. Since I'm a part of the observation, it's kind of unfortunate, but I want to track character that I select and the character that I receive. We're going to create game IDs, and this will go all the way up to 100 because we're going to collect 100 samples ultimately, not all today. So for example, this isn't true to life at this point, but it could be I'm Chang one game, I'm Alex another game, I'm Hans another game, and then in those games I actually do get Chang. This game, though, I get Hans instead, and this game I get what I want again, I get to be Hans. Then of course we're going to record who's infected. There's always two people infected, so infected 1, infected 2, and then theoretically speaking, it is possible to vote out up to 5 people, although it's very rare to actually get 5. I don't think I've ever seen it, but just in case. So we have all our bases covered. I'm going to do some quick magic to fill out game IDs all the way up to 100 and which characters I'm going to be in a randomized way. I added in date. This is randomized. So for example, if I was playing a game today, it's the 2nd of August. Let's say I go in and I try to be Rachel, but I end up being, let's say, Hans. And then it turns out that I find out at the end that Rachel and Lisa are the infected. And the only person that ends up getting voted out would be Chang. Fortunately, this sheet I think is going to be a little bit convoluted, but that's fine. It's just collecting data, and it's going to be automated at this point, so that's good. So what I want to know is for each character who's infected, we're going to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for each character there. Who's voted? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then based on that, we can calculate if someone was accurately voted. 5, 6. Inaccurately voted. 4, 5, 6. Accurately spared, at least as far as votes goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's actually 5. And inaccurately spared. And I'll be able to, just based on formulas, this will all populate itself in a hot second. Let me just set that up. All right, so this is a bunch of zeros and ones, which is lots of fun to look at. But we can tell that, for example, in the sample game that we made up, Lisa was infected, Rachel was infected. Okay, the only person voted out was Chang. That means that nobody was accurately voted out. That means that Chang was inaccurately voted out. All these others are zero. And accurately spared, Alex, Hans, and Nina were all accurately spared. Inaccurately spared was Lisa and Rachel. Is that a mess? Yeah, it is. So let's create a quick summary page just so it's easier to interpret. All right, so these are all formulas that automatically calculate themselves. These are the averages at the bottom, and we can compare. This is just for summary purposes when I actually do the data crunching, when I'm done with all of the words are hard. When I'm done with the data collection, I'll do regression models to actually measure things better, but that's nerd talk. And that's basically the plan. If the experiment interests you, you can see my Twitch channel is, oh, see, I'm hosting somebody right now. So actually, you should check him out. This guy's name is ShotoKid. He's a lot of fun. He's a streamer I like to watch. This is my Twitch, Ptony. This is my thumbnail. That's my thumbnail that'll show up. It's auto hosting this other guy. Hello, Shoto. How are you? That's all I have for today. It's going to take a long time to collect all the data I need for this project. So eventually I'll update you on it. Hopefully I don't give up on the project. I sometimes do that. It's a problem. But for now, I would like to give a shout out to Christopher for being a supporter of mine on Patreon. Thank you so much. It helps a ton. I hope this project interests you. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, I have other videos too. Please subscribe. If you really like me, support me on Patreon. $1 a month makes a huge difference. That's all I have. God bless and ciao.